Acceptance of life's journey. What we often see in society is a deep rejection of aging, as if it were the greatest enemy to be fought. Anyone who's heard that growing old is the beginning of the end might be believing a lie that perpetuates the fear of time passing. But what if instead, aging was seen as the key to a freedom you never knew you needed? Imagine viewing aging as an opportunity for growth, a new phase filled with depth and wisdom. Those who have embraced the journey of life, instead of fighting against it, discover that there's a peace that comes with acceptance. Youth often lives in the anxiety of what's to come, but learning from the elderly that life is a series of cycles can bring a transformative calm. Accepting the journey isn't an easy task. It takes courage to face the fact that your body changes, priorities shift, and the people around you are changing too. But if you can see these challenges as part of the natural process of life, you can start living with a lightness once seemed impossible. For example, imagine someone who has begun to simplify their life, prioritizing deeper relationships, moments of reflection, and gratitude for the little things. This person will likely find that what really matters isn't eternal youth, but rather the ability to live each stage of life fully. Along this journey of acceptance, what's most interesting is realizing that many of the fears surrounding aging are built by society. From the fear of becoming irrelevant to the anxiety of missed opportunities, all these thoughts can be deconstructed. When younger generations learn to accept life as a series of chapters, each with its own purpose and beauty, they start living more present and meaningful lives. They learn the importance of investing in relationships, in personal growth, and, most importantly, in allowing themselves to evolve over time. Wisdom through simplicity. When you think of wisdom, you might imagine an older figure offering enigmatic and complex advice. But what if I told you that true wisdom lies in simplicity? That might sound counterintuitive, right? We live in a world that values accumulating knowledge, achievements, and possessions. But elders, with all their experience, show us something different. That simplicity can be the key to a fuller and more meaningful life. They've learned, often through trials and errors, that life's complications don't bring happiness, and that simplifying choices and focusing on what truly matters is where real peace resides. Simplicity doesn't mean giving up everything, but rather focusing on what brings real value to life. Imagine someone who decides to reduce their material possessions in order to live a lighter, more intentional life. This person finds time to truly connect with people, to practice gratitude, and to be present in the moment. And younger people can learn from this. The concept of less is more can be applied practically to living a purposeful life. For example, instead of focusing on having the most expensive car or the biggest house, the wisdom of the elderly suggests that true happiness comes from prioritizing meaningful experiences like spending time with family, learning new things, and helping others. It's important for youth to start applying these lessons now so they can reap the benefits of this simplicity before they reach old age. Often young people are overwhelmed with the pressure to do everything and be everything at once. But elders teach that clarity and purpose can be found by simplifying choices. Instead of chasing after every opportunity, learning to focus on what truly brings joy can transform the way we live. And at the end of the day, who would have thought that the key to a wise life could be so simple? Intergenerational strength. One of the greatest misconceptions of our time is that older and younger generations are constantly at odds, unable to understand or collaborate with each other. However, the real secret is that this generational tension could be the key to unparalleled strength. Imagine the potential when youthful innovation blends with the accumulated wisdom of the elderly. It's not just a matter of new versus old, but rather a powerful synergy that can transform both individuals and communities. The mistake lies in believing that one generation must replace the other, when in fact, real progress comes from collaboration between them. The concept of intergenerational strength can be applied practically in many areas of life. Take a business, for example, where young professionals bring new ideas, energy, and enthusiasm, while older workers provide a broader perspective gained from years of experience. This combination can lead to creative and lasting solutions that would otherwise be unattainable. For the younger generation, learning to value the lessons of their elders isn't just a sign of respect, but also a smart strategy for accelerating their own growth and success. And for the older generation, staying open to the innovations of the young can renew their sense of purpose and relevance. The beauty of intergenerational strength is that it transcends the workplace and touches every aspect of life. In family relationships, for example, grandparents can pass down values that have been forgotten while learning new ways of seeing the world from their grandchildren. When generations stop competing and start complementing each other, result is a more united, resilient community, capable of facing the challenges of the future. This intergenerational strength is something we should all cultivate, starting with the simple act of listening and learning from one another. Reinvention and flexibility. Many believe that youth is the only time in life when you can make big changes, and that once you reach a certain age, that ability is gone. But nothing could be further from the truth. What older people show us is that reinvention is a skill that can and should be practiced throughout life. There's no right age to start over, to learn something new, or to head in a new direction. And it's precisely this flexibility that ensures that, no matter what stage of life you're in, you can continue to grow and evolve. Take the example of someone who, after retirement, decides to go back to school, start a new business, or even change careers. This not only keeps the mind active, but also serves as an inspiration to younger generations. Youth, in turn, can learn from this flexibility that life isn't a straight line. The changes that seem daunting might just be the most exciting opportunities, and the elderly are living proof that the ability to reinvent oneself is always within reach. As they say, it's never too late to become who you've always wanted to be. Looking at older adults who have gone through major reinventions, it becomes clear that the key to this transformation is an open mindset toward change. Rigidity and the fear of trying something new are the biggest enemies of any stage of life. And youth can learn early on that flexibility isn't a weakness, but a strength. The ability to change, adapt, and grow over time is what ensures not just survival, but also thriving in a constantly evolving world, living with purpose. In a world obsessed with quick goals and achievements, we often lose sight of the thread that gives life meaning: purpose. It's not uncommon to see young people rushing from one goal to the next, trying to fill a void that, in reality, can only be filled with a deeper sense of why we do what we do. The wisdom of the elderly, especially those who have reached the final stage of life with surprising clarity, is a true guide on how to live with purpose. They teach us that more than accumulating titles, wealth, or fame, living with purpose is the real achievement. For younger generations, applying this wisdom could mean a complete mindset shift. Instead of focusing solely on material goals, it's essential to cultivate a life aligned with your personal values. This can start with something as simple as making a list of the things that really matter: family, health, personal growth, and then making decisions that reflect those values. For example, instead of taking a job just for the paycheck, it might be more valuable to choose a career that brings fulfillment and impact. The elderly, with their life perspective, show us that, in the end, it's the quality of our choices, not the quantity, that defines a well-lived life. When you live with purpose, every decision, big or small, gains more meaning. And that's something we can learn from those who have already faced life's ups and downs. By living with intention, with a clear focus on what truly matters, we can avoid the common regrets that come with time. The elderly are living examples that, by living with purpose, life becomes richer, fuller, and above all, more meaningful. Spiritual growth and reflection. In the frantic pace of the modern world, where every minute seems filled with obligations and distractions, spiritual growth and reflection often take a back seat. However, those who have lived longer know that true growth doesn't happen in big external accomplishment, but rather in the pauses, in the moments when we look inward and question who we really are. The wisdom of the elderly teaches us that spiritual growth is an ongoing journey, and that reflection is the key to unlocking deeper levels of understanding and inner peace. For younger people, applying this wisdom can start with the simple practice of meditation or creating daily moments of silence. The world is full of noise and chaos, but by setting aside a few minutes for reflection and reconnect with your own essence. Many older adults recommend this practice as a way to maintain emotional and mental balance, especially in times of crisis. By cultivating this habit, younger generations can discover spiritual growth brings a sense of peace that can't be found in any material achievement. Reflection also helps us learn from mistakes and appreciate the lessons life offers, something that older generations have mastered. They show us that it's in introspection that we find the answers to life's deepest question. And by practicing reflection early on, younger people can build a solid foundation for spiritual growth that will sustain them throughout their life's journey. It's not about reaching a perfect state, but about embracing constant evolution, something the elderly know intimately. Now that you've immersed yourself in this wisdom passed down from generation to generation, the question remains, how will you apply it to your own life? Aging isn't a curse, but an opportunity to live with more purpose, simplicity, and continuous growth. Reinvention is within your reach, no matter your age, and intergenerational collaboration can be the key to a more united and prosperous future. So, why not start now? What can you simplify today? How can you live with more purpose? Don't let these lessons remain just words. Turn them into actions. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and continue this journey of learning and transformation alongside people who, just like you, are seeking a fuller and more meaningful life. Let's walk this path together.